Hello friends, welcome to my channel. Today is the date 30 for our Fortigate firewall series. So today we are going to understand how to troubleshoot any issue in Fortigate firewall. Okay. So in this video, we are going to cover a basic way to troubleshoot any kind of issue. What are the information that we need to gather? Okay. And also we are going to understand how to use a debug, how to use the sniffer, what it is, how to configure them, how to use a filter of sniffer, debug filtering, all those things we are going to understand. Also, we'll take one issue, okay, a real time, a very common issue, and basically I'll illustrate in the practical that in real time environment, what are the information that we need to collect, how to put a filter, and how to troubleshoot it. Guys, this is very much important and I'll request you or I'll recommend you to watch this video till then, because this is very common, guys, and you have to go through that. And if you want to prove that there is no firewall issue, then in that case you have to, I'll highly recommend to go and watch till then. And also I'll request you to please subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon so that you never miss a video from me. Without any further delay, let's get started. So friends, now we'll understand the basic way to troubleshoot any kind of issue. Okay. So let's say with the help of this diagram, we'll try to understand. We have a test PC, meaning that let's say you consider this PC as a user PC. Okay. And we have a WAN in sense the internet. And we have, let's say, don't consider this as a management. Let's consider this one as a server. Okay. Now you have to ask questions. Questions to whom? Questions to the user. You have to ask what is working, what is not working, whether the WAN is working, whether the intranet is working, which is not working, what exactly the issue is for you. Okay. So you have to understand the condition first of all. And after that, you have to ask some of the parameters, like, so we have to ask little more details about it. We'll come to that particular point. As the user are not much aware about the IT infra, we need to understand from them. We need to understand the scenario. That is the reason I'm asking. We have to ask a good questions from them to get the condition of that particular issue. Okay. Then we'll start asking the source IP address, destination IP address, the port number, the protocol. Now they are not, as I told, they are not educated in terms of IT or in terms of networking. So we have to guide them from how we are going to get the source IP address, whether they are trying from a server, they are trying from a PC. We have to get to that particular source IP address. Now, how you are trying, whether you are trying with some kind of URL, let's say something like ntp.abc.com. Are you trying with this, or you are trying abc.com, or you are trying with any IP address? So you have to provide the IP address. Okay. Now, what kind of connection, whether it's a DNS traffic, whether you are doing any telnet, when you are doing any SSH, or whether you are going through a web. Okay. Web is HTTPS or HTTP. So you have to get the port numbers. Okay. Now with the help of that, if the user is basically aware, so he can tell you whether it's a TCP or UDP. Okay. Now with the help of this information, at least if you have the port number, if you have the source IP, if you have the destination IP, at least you can go to syslog server or your monitoring tools and you can find it out by putting some filters that this is the source, this is destination, this is the port number, whether the traffic is getting allowed or denied. Now you're seeing multiple port numbers with multiple traffic which is getting denied and some of the getting are allowed. Now you have to ask little more questions. Can you share your screen and can you show me what you are doing? So you have to like understand from them. I understand like some of the users will give you a proper information. If they are in that particular site for a long time and they have seen that particular issue, they can provide you more information in the ticket itself, right? In the ticket, they will provide you all the information. Okay. So this is how we have to retrieve the information from user to utilize ourselves to troubleshoot some issues, right? Now, after getting those information, we have to use our tool, we have to use our filters, or we have to check the paths. In the path, do we have any firewall? We have to look at the firewall. In the firewall, right now, our focus, when the traffic is going through the firewall, what are the troubleshooting steps that we can go through? Okay, so let's understand from firewall point of view, what are the troubleshooting steps that we can go through. So friends, let's understand what is debug and sniffing. Before we understand, I will highly recommend you to please watch my previous video. I have explained about syslogs and log messages, what are the types of messages. So what I can do is I will link that particular video in the I button, and as well as you can check in the description box, because to see this video you need to understand about the logs, okay, which is very recommended. So please watch that video first and then come to this video. So day 29 you have to watch first and then you come to day 30. Okay. Now what is debug and what is sniffing? Sniffing is nothing but a packet capture, okay, and debugging is nothing but opening the events, what is happening inside the device, and checking what is wrong with the device. Okay. Now with the help of this diagram we'll try to understand. Okay. Now let's say this is a Fortigate device that we are having. Okay. When you run sniffer, what happens is when you run sniffer over here, the flow from this source towards this server and from this server towards this client, whatever it is happening, you will be able to see in the packet capture. Whether there is a problem with this, there is a problem with the client, the client is not able to send the traffic to Fortigate, or Fortigate is not able to, like, the traffic is not reachable to the server is not responding the traffic, or somehow some problem which is not there in the Fortigate. Okay. Debug is when you are thinking there is a problem with the device. So if Fortigate has a problem, you are going to debug it. And you will see because of what reason the traffic is getting denied in the firewall. So if the firewall is blocking that particular connection, you will use debug. If there is a problem with the flow, that is from the source to destination or client to the server, then what is there? The problem with maybe with the flow from source to destination, then you are going to use the sniffer. Okay. So let's configure sniffer and debug and we'll see what and how we are going to troubleshoot it. Okay. So let's rub this off. Okay. And let's hit the lab now. So friends, let's move on and to the lab and we'll configure the debug and sniffing. We'll see how it works. Okay. So this is our diagram. This is the LAN and this is WAN. In the LAN we have a test PC, okay, and this is where the router is on the WAN, and this is management. This is my local PC from where we am going to access the Fortigate firewall. Okay, so I have already configured the IP addressing part. So I have configured 20.5 here, 20.10 here, 10.1.1.10 here and 10.1.1.1 here. So I've already configured. Now our requirement to have a telnet from this machine to this. So what we are going to do is we are going to telnet from 20.5 to 10.1.1.1 on port number 23, and we'll see whether it's working or not. So I have created already a policy. I'll show you the policy how it looks like. Okay, so I've already created it. So I'm suspecting there is some problem with the destination or the source. So for that I'll be using a sniffing command, and I'll show you how it works basically. So let me go into Fortigate. So this is the configuration that I've already done. So port 2, port 3 and port 2 and 3 is already configured. Okay. Now in the policy, if I try to show you, it's a very simple policy. From port 2 to port 3, all service, all source, all destination. I'm not doing NAT over here, and apart from that everything is done. Okay, a very simple policy. Now I will log in into the firewall. So 192.168.202.143. Okay, so let me increase the fronts. Okay, changing to 14. Apply. I guess if I make it as 16, I guess it looks better. Okay, so okay, let me, it is wrong, let me do a duplicate session for this by mistake. Okay, so admin. Okay, it's a simple command. So diagnose sniffer. After sniffer we have few options. The packet, this is for interfaces, and this is for our mixoc. So I'm just interested in packet right now. Okay, so I'll be doing a packet capture. Okay, after that you have to mention the interface, from which interface that traffic will be initiated or how it is. So I'm not going to specify anything because I don't know about that. And after this you have to mention your filter. So I'm just mentioning a simple one, host 192.168.20.5. so this is where our requirement was, right? From 20.5 to, I'm not mentioning 10.1.1. here, I'm just mentioning this. Okay, now as you can see, the filter has been started for this host. So from this host, whatever that is initiated, everything will be basically captured. So we can make it more granular, and what we can do is we can mention and port is 23 and TCP port 23, because it is using telnet, right? So and the TCP port is 23. If you are putting some wrong filter, right, it will not work. So let's say if I'm putting as TCP, it is says unknown. So you have to put a correct name, small letter. If you are not sure about it, you can search on the Google online, you will get that particular filter itself. Okay, so here now I will go to test machine and I'll try to initiate some of the connection from here. So telnet, so to 10.1.1.1. okay, let me see what is the IP address. I'll confirm that to you guys. So this is 20.5 and show, okay, I'll go to the enable mode, show IP interface brief. So this is 10. So I'll be doing a telnet to 10.1.1.1. okay, and we'll see what is happening here. Now if you see this, first the connection is a sync traffic because it's a TCP port number 23. So first sync traffic from 20.5 to 10.1.23, and after that what we are receiving from 10.1.1.1 to 192.20.5 reset. So if you understand the reset flag, meaning that it is closing the connection, it is not accepting the connection, and it is happening like this. So first to sync to reset, to sync to reset, to sync to reset. So it is continuing. So the source is trying to connect, but the destination is refusing that connection. So what exactly happening over here? That the test machine is trying to initiate a telnet traffic. Okay. But the destination, the server, is not accepting the traffic. It's sending a reset traffic. So this means that the destination has some configuration issue. Maybe the access is not present. Access means that particular IP, if the server destination is going to accept with some kind of IP addresses, in that case it's not matching to that particular list. Okay. Second thing, the device is not listening on that particular port number 23. So the device is not listening on that port number, port is closed. Because of that reason the reset is coming from the device. So there will be a lot of other reasons as well. This is very common reason that I'm telling you guys. Okay. So what does it mean? The policy is there. Okay. The Fortinet is working fine. The destination has some problem. So as a network engineer, you cannot do or you cannot control the destination device. It might be a server. The server team who manages that particular server, he needs to fix that. He needs to fix the configuration, right? So sniffer will tell you if there is a problem in the flow. Okay. So now we'll try to configure debug. So in debug, we'll try to show you that we'll try to disable the policy or maybe delete the policy, and we'll try to enable debug and see whether it is showing what is wrong inside the device. Now we got to know that there is a problem with the device. So whenever you think there is a problem with the device, try to run debug. And if you want to see the flow from source to destination, you will be using sniffing. Okay. So let's turn on the debug and disable the policy, and we'll see how it is working. So guys, let's move on and disable the policy first. So we'll go and disable the policy. Now it is disabled the policy. Now we think that right now the problem is with the firewall itself. Now we'll start doing the debug. So we'll go to the CLI and we'll start doing it. Okay. So as we have done the sniffing, so sniffing have some kind of filters. Same way we have to do some kind of debug filter as well. So diagnose, debug, flow, filter. Okay. Now in this filter we have so many options. Okay. You can put your address, source address, destination address, port number, source port number, destination port number. Okay. So I am right now interested with the address. Okay. So I'll put address 192.168.20.5. Okay. Now the other is, now after the flow, okay, after we put the filter, flow filter, we have to put, like, we want to know the timing as well, because whether it is initiated right now, what is the device timing, we need to know about it, right? So we'll put console, okay, timestamp enabled. Okay. Now how many logs you want, that is also a very good idea to configure it. Okay. So I want to have flow trace for, let's say, start 100. So I want 100 messages, that's all. I can reduce it to 50, 20, whatever number that I want. Okay. Now one more thing guys, if you want to have a filter, more filters, you can also put it all as well. Okay. After putting the filters, the timestamp, there are more options that we are having. I'll show you guys. Okay, so there are so many other options are also there. If you want to do that, you can enable, but right now I'm interested about very basic one, so I'll just leave it all and I will enable it. Meanwhile, I'll go to the test machine here and I'll try to initiate one more connection. Okay, so I'll just enable it and I will just try to do a telnet. Okay, now you guys can see there are few logs that is coming in. Okay, if you try to read these logs, okay, and if I copy this and open a notepad basically, so maybe I'll just enlarge this. Okay, now from 20 it is going from port 2, it's a send traffic, it is sequence number is this, allocated a new session, find a route, he got the route, denied by the forward policy check. So because of what reason the traffic is denied? Because of the policy check. There is no policy, or like policy is not there, that is the reason it is denied by the policy, by the firewall itself. Okay, now you can see here, you can see here, you can see here, you can see. So the number the user, the source will try to do a telnet, he'll be getting, always be getting this kind of logs. Okay, so what does it mean? That this means that it is denied by the policy. Okay, so as I think that you guys will have some idea about why we use sniffer command and why we use debug command, right? So debug and sniffer is basically sniffer for the flow or the packet capture, and debug is to the events or what is happening inside the device itself. So there is a difference between both the commands, and this is very much useful tool for troubleshooting guys. Okay, so guys, this is what I wanted to cover in this video. If you have got to know something new, or you have learned something new, please hit the like button, or if you have any questions or any kind of troubleshooting that you want to share, please do it on the comment box. If you have any suggestions, you can send me an email, or you can send me a message on Instagram, Facebook, wherever you are comfortable with. Okay, thank you so much for watching till the end, and also I'll request you to please subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon so that you never miss a video from me. Thank you. I'll see you in the next.